So the next game on court is the last promotional game of the day between Norwich City and Highbury. And the officials are Tony Parsons and Chris West.
Hello and welcome to the final promotional playoff game of the first day of the LFF Korfball Grand Finals weekend at the Copper Box. We've got an interesting game here between Highbury and Norwich City. I'm joined by Tom Brady. My name is Jess Davis. Tom, what can we expect to see?
Hey Jess, I'm hoping we're going to see blood and guts and sweat and lots of passion here on the pitch. Both of these teams played well this morning, but none more so than Highbury, who beat the informed Bristol Thunder team, probably the biggest upset. Steve Carter, their captain, good shot from the back, well picked up by Alistair Glennie. I'm expecting to see a close game in the beginning. I'm thinking Highbury might just be a little bit too classy for the relative newcoming team of Norwich City, but the pressure here in the Copper Box, you can't actually predict anything, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, certainly. A bit of a grudge match here. These two teams will have faced each other in their respective leagues. But it should be a really interesting game.
Yeah, shot from Rob Bloomer. Claire Green picks it up a long way from the Korf, and they're going to have to force that one up. But that's coming up well short. Well picked up by Highbury. Steve Carter looking for space off the back. Nice movement around the outside. Oh, and Steve Carter going very close there. Good start for them. Matt Lunn into the post. Looking like we've got the boys on the inside, going to work on the girls on the outside. Abigail Smith just dropping the ball quite a long way out. Going to find difficult to build a rhythm from there, but now they've got the 2-2. Good to see a really kind of nice focused attack, but the assist from Matt Lunn was wayward. Highbury starting a long way out as well, but moving it perhaps a little bit more fluently. Steve Carter playing nice and compact. That's good to see. Nice drive in, good defending. Tom Rich. Not so much movement. There's the better ball out to Steve Carter. That's perhaps not his best shot, but he's ever willing. And Tom Rich picks the ball off and drops the one-handed shot in for the opening score of the game. And Norwich City are 1-0 up.
Are you okay?
Rob Bloomer, well picked up by captain Matt Lunn. Second shot just a little bit too far out from Claire Green for my liking. Teams just perhaps getting used to the size and the shape of the pitch. Now both teams, as I said, played an hour's Korfball here this morning. The winner of this 4-team tournament will play in the England Korfball League next year. We've got the playoffs at the top end of the league coming up here in the hall. It's filling up nicely here at the Copper Box. A lot of tickets sold, a lot of really good spectator interest. Oh, Rob Bloomer pulls Moses a little bit, and a little bit of a collision. Yeah, Moses, Hutchinson, Pascal just reaching across. Competent penalty from Matt Lunn. Stretches the Norwich City lead out to 2. I think that's what this game needed them to get on top. Highbury very excited about the game they had, and the captain Steve Carter talked about a belief that he sees within the team this year. Many of these teams try year after year in this playoff to try and make the league. Could this be the year for Highbury? Oh, fantastic, wonderful drive in. Well held though, and they've called that travelling. Bit sloppy coming out, but it finally finds its way to Sam Tatum. Oh, nice, interesting fluid ball from Sam Tatum. Shot from Lizzie Reeves goes long, picked off by Steve Carter. Highbury moving fluently, not quite finding the right positions though. Good flick out from Alistair Glennie to Amy Redston, well picked up by Moses, Hutchinson, Pascal, and even better, he drops it in from long range. Oh no, I think, sorry, I didn't see the referee signal there, but it was probably called, it must have been defended. I didn't think I saw him travel. Highbury got some wonderful support here. That they are the local team. We're here in Stratford, North London. The former Olympic handball arena, now renamed Copper Box. Oh, fantastic ball into Rob Lunn from Cassandra Bode. Sorry, to Lizzie Reeves. And you know, it was a nice idea from Alistair Glennie, but very poorly executed. Wondering whether fatigue will come in here. These players played both of them played a tough hour this morning. None more so than Highbury. Oh, that's a really poor pass coming out of defence. And luckily, Alistair Glennie gives up the defended shot. Norwich City get the ball back, pass it nice deeply into the attack. I like to see that. Thomas Greenfield working well on the outside, not really getting much space. Decent shot from Lizzie Reeves. It's good movement, great pull. But the underhand shot doesn't go, but they do retain it and back out to Moses Hutchinson Pascal, and he misses it, but they're retaining the ball very well. Fantastic move from Alistair Glennie. Matt Lunn pulls his player, looks on the inside, but getting a lot of attention there from Steve Carter. Oh, that's a good contest at the post, well won by Highbury. Long way out, shot, a little bit unstructured, very, very sloppy bringing it out. Moses Hutchinson Pascal wins it easily. And that's sloppy, and Norwich City get it back. Decent movement, well-timed shot, well picked off the collect. Oh, beautiful ball over the top. This is decent Korfball from Norwich City. Real shame that the feed just a little bit too close to Thomas Greenfield. Lets the ball go through his hands, but encouraging signs, Norwich City. Definitely the underdog in my book in this, but they're certainly playing some really nice Korfball. Okay, the mishandles just starting to put them under a little bit of shot clock pressure. Now they're going to have to start to go a little bit. Now they're really going to have to go and fight and get that back, and there's 3 seconds on the clock. Be interesting to see what they can do with this. Going to give the one ball out to Rachel Burt. Great post work from Thomas Greenfield. Looking like a decent young player. Good balance, nice pass. And the hurried pass from Sam Tatum flies off the edge of the Korf. Good hands from Rob Bloomer, just breaking up this Highbury attack. It's not the best shot you're going to see Moses shoot today. They're a little bit rushed, and timing wasn't very good, but now they've got a really kind of nice setup. And it's a decent shot from Alistair Glennie, but even better picked up from Moses, and he picks it up again. That's one of his great strengths to his game. And they're not afraid to shoot, and they're recycling it and quickly back into the attack. I really like the way they're not handling around after the resets. Ah, nice move. Hutchinson Pascal with the shot and the goal. That's really nice attacking Korfball from Highbury. Takes them to a 3-1 lead. And that's probably Norwich City's worst attack so far, followed by another mishandle from Highbury. Good combination between the girls out the front. Rob Bloomer was looking over the back to get the ball. Nah, it's nice. Little flick, nice balance shot. Well won by Matt Lunn under pressure. Rob Bloomer again, nice, good with a nice soft bounce off the top. both of these teams showing really good retention of the ball, but that wasn't even under shot clock pressure. Tom Rich comes up well short, manages to get it back again, takes a better shot. The double bounce goes kindly for Highbury. Shot off the back, from the back, goes over the top from Sarah Monroe. That's a nice ball to Matt Learn. His balance is good, and they get fortunate with the catch, and Moses might have had his hand in the cookie jar there, and Matt Lund thought he'd outfoxed him a little bit. Anti-clockwise movement, allowing it to go around. Not that much attacking intent at the moment. No, not handling it too well. And now they're starting to get under shot clock pressure. They've got 10 seconds from the time the ball comes back in. It looks like we got an early timeout, which is probably just about right. Looks like that was called by Norwich City. Coach Rebecca Thornburg. I've been speaking to a lot of the players throughout the day and just reminiscing on the old days where we used to play these finals in good halls like Whitgift and maybe even longer ago in Trinity, and the K2 last year. But nothing compares to the atmosphere and the facilities that we've got here. The pitch is looking fantastic. Web streaming being done by the PKC team from the Papendrecht Korfball Club media team. Doing a fantastic job. So professional. Good to see him turn up last night. It was wonderful to see all the great Korfball organisers here till late last night, and then talking about it in the bar when we all got back there at 11 o'clock about how really if the game is going to go forward, it is through creating more events like this. And it's not just good for the fans, it's great for the players. You could feel the atmosphere and the pride that these players have from coming out here. And what's on offer to them really here is a place in the big leagues. It is a tough league for a team that's coming up. Only one place available from these four teams. Norwich City slowly working it out. Still slowly working it out. Thomas Greenfield going to have a better go. This is good pressure from Highbury. If they can turn it over here, this will just knock the confidence of Norwich City a little bit. And you can see Steve Carter challenging it, and he fairly called the challenge. And he's going to take the one-headed rolling forward jump shot. And now this could be really big psychologically for Highbury if they put that pressure on, turn the ball over. And now if they can convert this into a chance, it will take them into a goal of three. And that's a really nice movement in the running in shot. Sandra Bowd looks like a nice extension on her shot. And a really nice return back. It's called defended. Our referee today, Toby Parsons. And that's a little bit easier for them to bring out. Nice turning feed, what we call the hockey feed. Yeah, definitely. Matt Learn had the great position underneath the post. Just managed to get it over Alistair Glennie, and a clear penalty. And this must be good for Norwich's confidence. Don't like to see when teams struggle to move the ball out of defence and they lose it. Yeah, a nice, beautiful, competent penalty. We saw a few missed in the earlier playoff games. Shot from Tom Rich, an unorthodox one-handed shot. It's no good. Abigail Smith to take the free pass. Looks like she's going to get back from Matt Learn. Two-boy formation. Girl out the front. Was a decent balance, but the shot bobbles long. Now it's Highbury's turn to struggle just a little bit. I think they've got a slightly more experienced team, although there was a really great ecosystem of Korfball over in Norwich. A nice ball. Steve Carter just snatches at it just a little bit, and Thomas Greenfield once again showing his athletic prowess, pulling that down. Good ball straight into the heart of the attack. Nice ball out to Rob Bloomer. Good ball retention. Nice moves from good from Rob Bloomer, but Moses has followed him, and he's going to give going to get a defender. Rob doesn't seem to like it, but yeah, Moses was definitely there. Good tempo, good movement. Not generating much space, but they are moving it nicely. Now, Steve Carter, good collection. Thomas Greenfield getting it in, breaking it up, but he can't get the ball back from this team. Highbury are growing in confidence in the movement. I love this tempo that they're playing. I really like how Toby Clark has prepared this team. Greenfield picks it up. But still, a decent attack, some nice moves, playing compact. Not perhaps aggressive enough individually in the duel everywhere. Not enough space being made, but they've got the basics there of that tempo, which is really, for me, the starting point. Interesting turn from Matt Lund to Rob Bloomer. A little bit too much attention been given there, resulting in a foul. Don't know if this is a trick move. Comfortable for Rob Bloomer at the post. Good work from Abigail Smith. Needs to find some space though. Not a great time to shoot. They do get lucky. Well read by Matt Lund as he comes in and picks it up off the floor. They've got the reset. They're starting to get a little bit too much in line, just looking for that little step out on 3 meters, not dropping from at the moment. Might start going, but not particularly attractive, that attack. Highbury crowd haven't quite got into it yet. Well, that certainly won't encourage them too much. Sam Tatum, well picked off. Abigail Smith from range. Nice pick off from Alistair Glenning. It was a nice expansive ball over the top there from Sarah Monroe, but Steve Carr just couldn't quite handle it. Tom Rich, yeah, he looks very willing, always looking for space. This is a beautiful, great feed position from Steve Carter. The running in shot from Cassandra Bode wasn't great, but it's an interesting style, interesting attack. And that ball has just been taken out of hands, and we'll go to Norwich City. Oh, great swooping move for Claire Green. And that's a great goal there from Norwich City, showing that they haven't come here just to make up the numbers, but now Highbury have called a timeout. I think that's a good timeout for them. They're not scoring with the fluency that they did this morning in a wonderful game where they beat Bristol Thunder 19-18. Bristol were probably favourite in my eyes for that game. Highbury, perhaps I haven't seen as much progress in them in the last few years, but this is probably the best team I've seen them put out in a long time. A credit to Toby Clark, a wonderful korfballer and clearly a very good coach. Team seem very focused. I can see some of the belief that Steve Carter talked about. Norwich City perhaps looking a little bit less structured. They're in the timeout and using the modern technique of actually each division talking within themselves. And looks like we're going to see a substitution as well. That's Mark Goddard coming on for Thomas Greenfield. I'd really liked what he was doing. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Oh, wow, a goal out of nothing there. Stuns Norwich City just a little bit. Just as they got back level, and that is just a little bit sloppy, but she does do well to keep it in. Goddard into the action, strong collect. Now we see his shot, decent, well picked up by Sam Tatum. Good to see both teams trying to play a more modern style of keeping the ball moving and not holding on to it too long. And that's Bailey Woodbridge. Brings the score back level again, 4-4, as we count down the last 5 minutes of the first half. Low scoring. A lot of tension in the air. Nice ball to Rob Bloomer. Just looking into, trying to pass into Abigail Smith. That's a fantastic fight there, though, with being well won by Rachel Burt. Oh, wonderful angle into the post by Steve Carter, but he just couldn't get the handle on it to finish. Tom Rich looks like he's really keen to shoot the one-handed shot. Nice turnout from Rob Bloomer. But they perhaps just not quite retaining the ball as well in the last couple of attacks. These goals counting down now to the half-time buzzer are going to be really important. And yeah, looks like he's given that against Bailey Woolridge. Sorry, no. Yeah, and Tom Rich easily converts it. Highbury just get their nose in the lead again. And, the turn from Abigail Smith wasn't great. I liked the idea, but it was just perhaps the timing wasn't right. Neither team taking up strong static collect, just tend to be kind of more modern style, even though you still see, let's say, the top Dutch teams and some very good teams still taking up some very big positions. But you can see Rob Bloomer there, he's ready to move off. It's both a collect position and an attacking position as well. Sarah Monroe, Cassandra Bode. Yeah, nice moves. Oh, what an absolute fantastic, wonderful move there from Tom Rich. Gets the ball back from Steve Carter. The one-handed roll in. Could this be the beginning of Highbury's dominance, where they can start to crush the spirit of Norwich City a little bit? I hope not. Not long ago till the first half. Be nice to see City get back one of these. That's a wonderful turnout from Sam Tatum. Really like that. Gets another shot. Doesn't quite extend to the feet quite enough. Bailey Woolridge. Matt Goddard, yeah, tries to turn a shot out of nothing, but the feed comes back in. I'm not quite sure if Lizzie Rees pulled that down, but it wasn't given defended. Sam Tatum, good retention as we count down towards the end of the half. They need a goal. It'd be really nice to take a goal in with them to half time. Just slowing the tempo just a little bit. Working a triangle mainly out the front, not quite penetrating the back of the basket. Now we see Tatum go through. Good work from Mark Goddard. You can really see why they brought him on, and Steve Carter, give him a lot of respect. Oh, great combination between the boys and Goddard, and I think that was actually a foul call by Sam Tatum on himself, and actually gave the ball back to Steve Carter, which I like that. Thomas Greenfield coming back for Sam Tatum. I'm really glad about that. I'd like to see more of this young lad. He jumps well, he moves well. Shot from Alistair Glennie is weak and comes up short. Shot clock and game clock are almost level. City would do well to just calm this, maybe get a shot, 10-15 seconds to go. Let's make sure they can get a second shot. Greenfield, nice balance, nice extension, not quite good enough though. And Mark Goddard, he collects it well. But the defender coming round and just closing him off and getting the defender decision, 10 seconds left to go on the game clock. Moses, good position. Almost identical defending decisions down the other end. Haven't got much time now, probably 4 seconds. We're in real playing time in the last 2 minutes of each half. And the long shot from Norwich City is picked off. And so an interesting half, pretty low scoring, but all to play for. Highbury looking to get another win under their belt to take them into the second day games tomorrow. Certainly, if they win this, then they're certainly favourites to come up. Norwich City looking to get the first win on the board. Come back and join me and Jess Beale for the second half. I'm rejoined in the commentary booth by Jess Beale. Jess, you didn't see all of that half, but it was low scoring. Both teams playing decent korfball at times. Probably if I had to choose the better, more fluent style, it would be Highbury. They were moving the ball well. Not much big boy exotic collect nowadays. It's probably a good thing for the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what we like to see. If we can keep the ball moving without having to send somebody to the post to just stand. Probably isn't the right athletic term.
That's because you've never it wasn't just standing there. That was hard work, that was, for all those years. But I must say, I really like a more modern game where it's less post-focus. That's a really nice blam there from Abigail Smith, but Highbury do come back up with it.
No, but it's right. If you're able to play a more dynamic collect, it just means that you've got an extra person on the outside who can constantly be moving, who you can pass the ball to. It's another free player.
Yeah, Alistair Glennie, I think he actually shot that ball up through the post and back down. Goal defended. Yeah, korfball's changing in some very positive ways, and it's really good to see that those more modern styles of more fluent korfball and some dynamic collect is working its way down and up through the promo leagues and through the regional leagues.
I must say, having watched all of the promo games today, I have been very impressed. But in some ways, I have been very impressed by the standard. You know, the athleticism, the shot techniques, it is all getting better. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
Yes, the games may have been low scoring. Maybe that's just teams that, they're all rising at the same level, at the same speed, so they're all of a similar standard. But I must say, compared to the playoffs that we had maybe, 4-5 years ago, it definitely is stronger. Oh,
definitely stronger, absolutely. I like this number 23. Let's keep our eye on him, Thomas Greenfield. It's a lot of players here. I mean, I'm not quite on the scene as much as I have been in the past, but I just don't know, and he's a whole proper korfball. Look at that. It's a beautiful shot. It's a really nice extension. He perhaps just gets his legs just tied up just a little bit. Footwork not quite right, but there's some really positive aspects to his game. Oh, that's nice from Rachel Burt. Well, the initial move was passing to the post, not so good. Mark Goddard stepping out of the collect position. Giving the ball up to Bailey Wooldridge, but just not going to hands, not holding on to it. Nice ball from Rachel Burt.
Rob Bloom just caught unawares there, not sure where the ball was.
Which is what modern korfball's all about, isn't it? Is you've got to move the ball around, get defenders turning, get them disorientated. Looks like Rachel Burt just suddenly switched on a little bit and realising.
That's a nice looking shot from Rachel Burt.
Yeah, but she looks like she's starting to step up, thinking, I'm going to have to take responsibility here. Moses, Hutchinson, Pascal, really been a stalwart of the Highbury team and Highbury club. Oh, wow, wonderful combination. Alistair Glennie getting it back from Amy Redson. Nice goal.
Alistair Glennie, he's had a good tournament so far. I've seen him on the score sheet quite frequently.
Yeah, that was a class move. Beautiful goal. Shot from Lizzie Reeves, not collected.
So Tom, how do you think this compares to, bearing in mind this is the southern playoff game, if you like, compared to the more Midlands/Northern playoff game between Warriors and Bristol. How do you think the two compare?
I don't know. I mean, I have to go on the results of this morning where Highbury in the southern half and Bristol, I know geographically they're not, but they are playing in the more Midland type promo league. I think that, that's wonderful. I think Norwich as a city play a certain style, and it is a good style. And we're going to see Norwich. Wow, Mark Goddard was unlucky there. I think we're going to see Norwich Knights playing it. I think they've really benefited from the fact now they've got three good clubs, Ice City and Knights, and they all look to play good modern korfball. They've got some really good people there, like Charlie Vogwell, who is an exciting player and wants to play exciting korfball. So I think in their regional leagues or their local leagues, that's definitely a shove in the back on Amy Redson. In their regional leagues, I think they look to play exciting rather than boring korfball, and I can see that within them. I just think this team's perhaps not quite ready yet, and Highbury, even that's a bit naff from Moses there. Highbury just looking a bit more experienced and a bit more solid, but then again, they're not scoring like they did this morning, and maybe the fatigue is kind of hit into them, or maybe the nerves of the fact that, wow, they could be playing themselves into National League and they could be going home tonight in pole position. Certainly not there yet, though.
No. Highbury should be in a very strong position coming into this. They should have had the best preparation, bearing in mind the teams that they get to play against week in, week out.
Yeah.
A lot of the time they're playing against the second teams of the National League,
I've chosen
Premier
two,
League.
yeah. These
teams.
are... And I think that was called against Alistair Glennie for the move from Thomas Greenfield. Now he's going to get the chance to take his penalty. And that's a really nice smooth action. And substitution there, Nicola Hutchinson-Pascal coming on for Highbury. Norwich City not far off. Okay, they're going to need to score it quicker than the rate they have been scoring so far. That's a decent ball, was a little bit low. Steve Carter does really well to pick the ball up and pop it in and stretch that lead back out to 3.
And what I like to see is a good celebration. I love when people are happy that they've scored.
Yeah.
It means something.
Yeah, you come here to the copper box. How many athletes have had the chance to score a goal and compete on this pitch? Not that many. Make the most of it.
You've got to remember, for a lot of these players, this is the biggest crowd that potentially they might ever play in front of. I mean, think how many people are here.
I thought it was wonderful for the schools korfball to be here at this great stadium, and the pitch looked wonderful, and that's a little bit desperate.
That's a great pass from Steve Carter there.
That Tom Rich, it's never far off. He's a little bit unorthodox, but he's really keen to shoot every time. And he's getting a little chant of his own from the Highbury, the fantastic Highbury support we got here. Abigail Smith, long way out. Once again, probably needs to just get a little bit closer, hitting the front of the basket a bit too much for my liking. Rob Bloomer trying to post up on Moses Hutchinson-Pascal. He is a very physical player. It's hard to do that. Did he just pass the ball behind his back and then lean back out? Audacious. Tom Ritchie he's hungry for it.
He's not giving up. He's not going to stop trying.
No. Well, they're not far behind. They just need to get on a string of moves and goals. Ah, what a wonderful little flick back from Rob Bloomer to Abigail Smith. Really sad you didn't get that. Norwich City are appealing for a push in the back, but it's a really difficult one for the referee to call. Both players moving in close. There was no room.
See, if there's an area that Steve Carter can improve his game, it's there. It's around the post. It's getting up and finishing that kind of shot.
Yeah. I think you see the difference really between top-level Dutch Korfball League, and in particular with the girls. Wow, when you see Suzanne Strike coming in, they're scoring the one-handed shots. A running-in shot should be a reward for a great move on the outside, but when you see the percentages are low, then that defeats the object of driving in. It's weak from Claire Green, but well picked up by Matt Lunn. And that's weak. That's tiredness there. It could be balanced, but that's a poor, bad sign for Norwich. Highbury don't mind taking their time bringing it out. Norwich perhaps showing a little bit of inexperience. They should let that ball go.
this style that Highbury are playing with an early feed. A lot of people don't tend to like it, but personally, as somebody that does like to attack the post, I really like the early feed without the collect. Players aren't expecting it. They're not expecting somebody to be there in the feed. Yeah,
well, you don't have to do anything crazy with it. I mean, the reason that a lot of coaches don't like it is because it sparks people into Korf madness, and they're shooting too early, and the retention's not good. But if you're disciplined enough to use the feed and only take a good quality shot afterwards, bearing in mind you've still got 20 seconds left to go in the attack, then I think it can be a very positive move. Nice ball over the top from Abigail Smith. That was a nice step out from Matt Lunn. I'm liking the tempo. I like the way that they're really keen to move the ball. They don't want to sit on the ball. Perhaps just not aggressive enough in the one-on-one duel. They're not making enough space. And you could say, was that a poor pass? Well, it probably was. Yes, it could have been a better pass. But Steve didn't have much room. He hadn't made much of a move.
No.
Okay, shot clock timeout. I suppose it's a testament to both teams. We haven't seen much of that. They're keen. They're shooting early, mostly hitting the basket.
Abigail Smith coming off.
Abigail Smith coming off. I think that's, is that Lizzie Reeves back on, that she just changed ends when they brought on Victoria Tobin?
Yes. See, that must have been a bit of miscommunication there. Steve expected somebody to go to the collect, whereas nobody was there.
And that's sloppy from City. They get away with it, though.
Norwich marking the ball out hard in an attempt to try and intercept it, but equally it's wasting their game time.
I think Highbury are just content to actually sit there and not move it that quickly, because a 3-goal lead in such a low-scoring game is a big deal. I hope it doesn't catch them out. That's nice. Nasty. Greenfield picks it up while Steve Carter slaps the floor in frustration.
But they don't need to be getting frustrated. They're 3 goals up.
Yeah.
They just need to recycle the ball. They need to change their attack so that they're not being forced into taking that first shot.
Yeah. And that's a weak pass from Craig Green again. But once again, do you blame the pass, or is the movement as good? Oh, nice from Steve. But once again, he can't convert it. Yeah, Norwich City, their attacks just seem to be just getting worse at the moment. I think maybe a different level of fitness that Highbury are bringing, perhaps because they're playing a high level in their regional league because of the number of very good London teams, National League teams that are playing that second team, and they end up facing them quite a lot.
Good defence there from Rachel Burke, getting her body in the way.
That's probably about 4 or 5 of his last attacks, and I've even had 1 shot out of it, maybe 1. That's good interplay. Highbury and a nice balanced shot, and Nicola Hutchinson, Pascal thought you had that. Well done by Greenfield. Nice move through. Claire Green puts it long.
I don't think she realised quite how free she was there. I think she got the girls on her shoulder, but she was completely alone.
really, I'm not sure we're teaching running in shots right here in this country. I think we miss a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do miss a lot. Now, you just so happen personally to have a very nice running in shot. You don't miss many. But in general, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I looked at the Bristol game, I'm looking at Heidi.
Yeah.
Wonderful moves, not being able to convert. You're talking about Steve Carter. Maybe there's something more that we could do with this. Do we need to switch to one hand?
I completely agree. I mean, I've been on a few coaching courses lately where we've had various Dutch coaches in. I also recently took, while you were away, I took the Wales session, and we spent a lot of time looking at running in shots, because we practice, when you get taught how to do running in shot, you practice a running in shot from about 2.5 meters from the post, and you go underarm, and it's all very relaxed. But I've seen one running in shot in this whole weekend so far that has been relaxed and from that distance. All other running in shots are right under the post, somebody right on your shoulder, and we've got to practice shooting under pressure with somebody on top of you and putting it overarm. It's got to be that overarm shot, driving up towards the post and putting it in.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe because the game's changed a little bit, there's less room on the inside. You don't beat people like by 2 meters, you're beating them by 3 centimeters and using that 3 centimeters to angle inside them and get them on the outside. It's just making those shots more difficult. But maybe our coaching techniques haven't caught up, or our coaching habits, because it is habits, isn't it? Because you got to do some running in shots. We're all going to do these kind of stylish little running in shots.
I don't think people realise it, but coaching is one of the key differences that can really bring a team on that wants to progress at this playoffs. I mean, I'm looking at Highbury. That's a lovely shot from Steve Carter. I'm looking at Highbury and I'm thinking Toby Clark has done something wonderful with them. I remember seeing them a few years ago and thinking, they're okay. Yeah. They're not great. Whereas I'm watching this. Yes, they're not the finished article, but I am enjoying watching them play. They're doing something different. And actually, I think they're executing it quite well.
Well, they're all playing the same game.
I think he could
Thomas
have
Greenfield, I thought he had the position there. And Steve Carter's got quite big, powerful upper body that he got him sent to threw him to the floor. Well, they're all playing the same game. They're playing, decent tactics. It's whether they're executing on everything that they could do. Shot from Rachel Burt, who's coming into the game, needs to convert some of that into some goal action. But they're a decent team. We're about to see the step up in class, though, in the hall here, where we're going to be looking at the top end of the Premier League, the EKL League, and where they're the league that these teams are fighting to get into. And it is a whole different level, but you can't play that level unless you start training for it, unless you start actually playing those teams and understanding what it's like.
Talking about that level, there's been a lot of talk about the fact that this is the first year that the relegated team from the National League isn't at this tournament. So Bearsted got relegated. They were the 10th place team this year.
The 9th place team.
So they're not here to try and win their way back into the National League.
Yeah.
What are you willing to say what your thoughts are on that? Do you think they should be here? How do you think they would have done if they were at this tournament, having now seen all these teams play?
I don't know. I think statistically they always qualified that team, and maybe 2 teams turning over. Is it too much? Do 2 of these teams deserve to go up? I mean, one is wonderful, Rob Bloomer. Matt Goddard falling away. I'm reasonably in agreement with it. If maybe in the future, if we see that the regional leagues and the Premier Leagues get stronger, and you can see that you got 2 teams that just really should be in the league, then bring it back. But I think a lot of it was time scheduling here as well, the ability to include the schools tournament, which I think has really been a big hit. It's drawn a lot of parents down, it's drawn a lot of attention. They've got some sponsorship for it, and hopefully these kids are going to go on and be playing here in 10 years' time when they graduate. So in general, no, I'm not against it. Maybe if I was the 9th team, I'd want to come here and actually just get more game and more play. But okay, City going to run the block. Got on the inside. And Was it Steve Carter in the back of Thomas Greenfield? It's quite a late decision. I think he's probably right. I think he's getting himself into good positions moving forward. Needs to convert, does convert. Now they're only 2 behind, 7 minutes to go. They could do this, Jess.
The game's on.
Well fought by Highbury, but they couldn't keep it in. And really, someone to tell Norwich City to let this go. There's just not enough time in the game for taking. I mean, okay, unless they're going to make me a fool by intercepting one of those and scoring it, and then suddenly it's all been worthwhile. But they're reading like 15, 20 seconds out of the game, and I'm not sure they can afford to do that at the moment.
That wasn't the nicest attack I've seen from Highbury. It was a bit forced, a bit rushed.
Was a tad scrappy.
Oh, Rob Bloom was going to shoot that.
Well picked up by Sam Tatum.
Drive, drive, drive.
Oh, nice
That's
moves
nice.
in from Claire Green. Once again, the runner goes long. Rob Bloomer looking better from there, but it comes off, looking a little bit easy for Highbury to pick that one up. That's a tad sloppy there from Sarah Monroe. Claire Green is looking a lot more aggressive. She made a couple of bad passes and she really seems to be trying to make up for it. I'm liking that. Structured 2-2 running the block. Not perhaps enough aggression on the outside, though. Claire Green really does look like she's really switched on to shoot. Good from Rob Bloomer. Under pressure from Moses, but certainly not defended. And that's going to be football against Highbury. Looks like we've got another substitution coming on. That's
Darryl Light coming off.
Yeah, is it Tomwich coming back on?
Yeah.
I don't know, we had a little rest. He seemed to have his shirt off. Small little cameo from Darryl Light. Oh.
I must say, I was lucky enough to come here on Monday night and play against Highbury in a friendly game.
Yeah.
And if I'm being brutally honest, I wasn't that impressed with them on the day. I kind of thought, you know, I mean, to be fair, they were playing against we had a very strong side out under Rob Williams, and we were playing against Norwich Knights as well. So it was tough for them.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I wasn't that impressed with them. But today, they look like a different team. And I've spoken to both Toby Clark, their coach, and Steve Carter, their captain, and both of them just said the word belief.
Yeah,
They've just got this belief in their team this weekend that they're just going to go and do it.
This is their year. They've been to the tournament a lot of times, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's been pretty hard to pick yourself up, but they're a very dedicated club, very dedicated players. Okay, Norwich City finally worked it out. They're going to have to let this ball go out.
Such a quick shot he's got, isn't it? That is a bullet of a pass.
Great ball into the heart of the attack. Oh, Claire Green again. What a wonderful move around the back. That was fantastic.
That
And
was
maybe the
beautiful
assist of the
pass.
day there from Sam Tatum as he squeezed the ball in. And unfortunately on your replay you can't quite see all of that, but that was a really nice angle that she took.
That brings it back to just one the difference. Highbury need to be clever here. If they can just keep the ball.
Yeah,
There's only 2 minutes 40 on the clock.
I've got a feeling that I wouldn't want to just leave it to one. They're going to score. I mean, I would imagine so Bristol Thunder have 1-1, Manchester Warriors have 1-1. They're kind of hoping that that maybe Norwich City can do something here on Highbury. Is a draw enough? Draw's probably going to be just fine, but they've just got to go out and win tomorrow. But really, this is probably because maybe they switched off a little bit and just perhaps were moving the ball around with good tempo, but not with enough aggression. Wow, that was a really gutsy attempt at a reset from Lizzie Reeves, and it almost worked. Okay, 1:55. Let's see if they are going to try and just eat the clock up a little bit. But it's a very dangerous thing to do, Jess, as you know. If you lose your attacking intent, you find it hard to get back.
You've got to be disciplined. You've got to have a game plan that you can go to that just says possession, but taking the right shots at the right time. It's a really tough thing to do because your head is in that game and you're just thinking, I want to shoot, I want to score.
Those shots have got to hit the post. I've seen 2 shots from Tom Rich and 1 from Nicola Hutchinson Pascal. They're not resetting. They're not hitting the post.
The crowd are really getting behind Norwich here.
Yeah, that's wonderful drive. She just kind of just loses the power in her legs. Well, where was Claire Green in the first half? She's really come alive and playing really aggressively.
Time wasting.
And yeah, it's good to see a nice early call. Time wasting. Don't mess around.
I'm getting flashbacks.
You mean to that wonderful game that we had? Yeah.
Oh, what now? Oh, no. So, okay, we're into the last minute now.
The last minute.
One goal in it.
They need a reset. What are you going to do? So if I was Steve, I'm going to probably get to the post. He's probably collecting ability just to get a reset. Oh, no! There we go. What a crazy fool I am. Steve, you carry away, go outside, drop that long shot, take the team 2-0 in the front, and hopefully seal the game for you. Okay, Jess, well, I'm going to leave you to do some interviews as you finish off the game. Enjoy the rest. Not long now.
So the last 30 seconds, this should be the last attack and a half that we see. Steve Carter just defending that running in shot. Last 25. Game clock in the... Oh, a push in the back there. Now, if I'm completely honest, I'm unsure about the rules here. I'm not sure that they could turn down this shot, because I think that would be deemed time wasting, because he's free, he's addressed the basket. I don't think you can turn that down. I'm willing to be corrected. But it doesn't matter because he scores it anyway. Taking them to a nice 3-goal lead. Attempt for a penalty there, but didn't referee wasn't having it. Well, it looks as though Highbury have done the business today. The only team to have won both of their games today, but that doesn't mean that it's all over. They still need to get a result tomorrow. So hopefully you'll come back and join us when Tom and I will commentate on the first of the semi-finals this weekend, which is Trojans versus Tornadoes.
And I'm joined pitch side by England coach Rob Williams. Rob, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks, good.
We've got some exciting korfball coming up. What are you hoping to see?
So, a high-paced game coming up. Tornadoes are young, but they've got a lot of experienced internationals. So I don't think they're going to be put off by the venue. So, yeah, quite excited, really. And, of course, Trojans have been here before. We know what we're going to get. So, yeah, good game, hopefully.
Well, I can honestly say I don't think I've looked forward to one of these playoffs games as much as this. Trojans, look, I mean, incredible. 10 years, you've been part of that. Tornadoes, what are they going to have to do? I know they're quick. I know they shoot a lot. They do retain a lot. What are they going to have to do to just make up that lack of experience they've got?
Well, I don't think they're inexperienced because they played the youth level. So I think they've just got to believe in themselves. And if it doesn't go well all the time, stick with their process, stick with their game plan and keep going. Yeah. But it's going to be tough. You know, Trojans have won 10 in a row, so there's a reason for that.
Yeah, there is a really good reason for that. And the Knights game, what are you expecting from the second game tonight?
Well, that's revenge for Beck, isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was a great game last year. Nobody was expecting Knights to win, and they did. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
And Knights surprised us a little bit last year. There's going to be no surprise if they do it against Beck. Beck will be well prepared. You know, how do you think the game will go?
Ooh, I don't know. I think that one's more of a tactical matchup than this one. So, yeah, wait to see who's playing against who and how they get started.
So, you're England coach now, and we're looking forward to the European Championships. What are you feeling about the team? How's the squad looking?
Well, the squad's not selected yet. There's a lot going on in here at the moment. We've got a lady coming up from Kent University tomorrow to watch Korfball, and she's from the sports science department. Yeah. So looking forward to getting her involved, and whoever we select, making sure they're the fittest squad that's ever gone out. So, yeah.
All the best, Rob. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Good luck.
I'm joined pitch side by Joe Sterling, head coach of Norwich Knights and the England under-17 team. Joe, what do you think about this matchup that we've got going on now?
Well, I think for both semi-finals today, every team can beat everyone. So it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a great game. Tornadoes have lots of energy. They're young. They've all played in big game experiences as well, just like Trojans. So I don't think we can say just because Trojans have got the England Korfball League finals experience, Tornadoes have plenty of international experience. So, yeah, I'll watch with interest and look forward to playing one of them tomorrow in the final.
You've alluded to the fact that you will be in the final. Obviously, we've got your game against Beck next. How's that going to go? Willing to share any tactics with me?
The whole team know the tactics. We're well prepared. And, yeah, if we go out and execute it, I'm sure we can get the same result as last year, perhaps even with a bigger difference. Depends how we shoot on the day. They've got top players. John Denton's first year coaching, and he's done a great job with them. They got to the final of the Europa Shield. So, yeah, they'll be confident as well. So I think in for two great games this afternoon.
Very true. If you could describe your style of play, Norwich tend to play in a different way to all four other teams that are here. What do you think your style of play is?
How's our style different?
You tell me.
I'd say we have two ends that play slightly different styles. One of them slightly more traditional with a big rebounder and a main attacker shooter. The other one is more all four people moving around lots. It's high energy, so it burns a lot. So we found that tough at the Shield, playing multiple games in a weekend. Does have its toll, but we've got a great squad, lots of good young players coming through as well. So we've definitely got enough to handle both games this weekend.
Joe, wish you the best of luck. We'll catch you later.
Thank you very much.